Welcome one, welcome all, and strap on your seatbelts because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Countdown
3,
with me, folks. Come
2,
on.
1, 0.
We've got this.
Ignition.
Come on, baby.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Come on.
Get ready.
All right.
Hold on to your hats.
Here we go.
Your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
That's right, amigos. Welcome aboard. It's the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio, where we are laughing, learning, and that's right, folks. This is a place where you can laugh, you can learn, you can make some friends. And most of all, you can have a blast. Pasarlo bomba. I imagine you guys are nice and warm. Calentitos. Well, right, you were listening to Fitz's show, No Excuses. It's a great show where you practice all the different Vaughn drills. The word drill is a word for exercise. And remember, if you want your very own Vaughn classes, you too can have a Vaughn teacher. We've got group classes, private classes, weekend classes, camps, masters, stuff for the kids, stuff for grown-ups, stuff for beginners, stuff for superstars. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at our website. It's grupovaughn.com. grupovaughn.com. If you're looking for materials for self-study, that's vaughntienda.com. And you can find everything you're looking for there, my amigos. Also, follow us on social media, and you'll find out about all the upcoming deals and events. And speaking of deals, did you know we've got a special deal going on right now with our Vaughn groups? Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. More information on our website, grupovaughn.com. It's time to remind you of this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, folks. The question of the week. And as always, this is a part of the show where we hear from you guys, our super students. And I think that is awesome. Now, since Halloween is on the horizon, I'm going to ask you to participate this week and tell me your biggest phobia or your biggest superstition. Maybe something you've got to do. I asked my wife. I can tell you my wife's, but you'll have to wait till Friday, of course. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you know what you're going to say? Do you normally practice it before you send me the voice note, or do you just do it on the fly? Well, that's up to you, whatever works best for you. What I always recommend you do, and I know this from experience, record your rehearsal. Okay, graba el ensayo, because sometimes since you're like, well, it's just a rehearsal, you don't feel the pressure and you perform very well. So that's one of my things I always tell my students. You've got space on your phone or in your cloud, so record it 2 or 3 times. Choose your favorite one. Keep it at around a minute, and you can send it to alonso@grupovon.com. alonso@grupovon.com, and tell us your biggest phobia or your biggest superstition. And as I said, we're keeping in line with that Halloween theme. You know I love Halloween. I love it. Yesterday, we had a little pumpkin carving workshop with the people in my community, with the kids. And I don't know who had more fun, the kids or the parents, but it was a blast. And folks, it's time to move on, though. It's time for our pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Oh yeah, amigos, it's our pop quiz here on the show with no name. That's right, and if you love challenges like our pop quiz, well then you're gonna love our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hey Lara, do you have any plans for November 1st?
Hey Daddy. Yeah, the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, baby.
Where is it taking place?
It's at Real Madrid.
What time does it start?
It's at 8:30. Get there at 8.
And who's hosting this time?
Seriously? Come on, Daddy. It's your turn.
Thank God my daughter isn't as forgetful as I am. I'm going to jot it down this time. And so should you. We'll see you for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at Roll Madrid, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. I'll see you November 1st at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid for another exciting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night.
Be there or be square, amigos.
That's right. Be there or be square, as my daughter says. I hope you guys can make it. It's November 1st. It's around a week away, so I'm really looking forward to that. As you know, it's going to be horror themed, so the more you know, not just about horror movies, but things that have to do with horror. So it could be even like Charles Manson or some dictator or something like that. So evil, horror, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it'll be challenging. What I always like is I like for some of you guys to be like, come on, that's easy. But then the next one for you guys to be like, oh, you got me there. So that makes it challenging. If not, that's as a teacher, my goal as well, not just as a quiz master, but also as a teacher, to keep the level just at the right level where I'm pushing you, but not too much where you're like, man, this is impossible. Because if it's too easy, you get bored. And if it's not hard, if it's not easy enough, and you get frustrated and you don't want to do it. So I think there's something in there for everybody. I hope to see you all on November 1st. All right. Well, today we're going to listen to an audio clip from Conversaciones en Inglés Part 2. Now, there are 3 of these, if I'm not mistaken. This is the intermediate level. You've got the beginner level and you've got the advanced level. But either way, this is intermediate, but there's some really native stuff in it. So as with all our materials, it comes with audio. You can buy it at vontienda.com or wherever fine books are sold. Now, I want you guys to pay attention. If you have this book, Conversaciones en Inglés Part 2, and you'd like to follow along, you can do that. This is audio 115, and it's page 236. So it's Conversaciones en Inglés 2 with Richard Vaughn and yours truly on the cover. It is audio track 115, and it's page 236. So I want everybody to pay close attention, and I want to see how much you can get from there. And then I'll tell you what your mission is in just a moment.
Oh, I am so full I could burst. Why do I always I mean, I don't even like turkey, but I have this overwhelming need to just keep eating when there's a big spread in front of me. I wouldn't mind, but it was overcooked, too. How long was it in the oven?
It was about 6 hours in total, I think. It was a big bird, It had a happy life, and you certainly couldn't say it was underfed. I think it weighed about 14 pounds.
What? 6 hours? Are you sure it was supposed to be cooked for that long? Don't they recommend something like an hour per kilo? So if 14 pounds is the same as approximately 7 kilos, then it should only have been in the oven for 3.5 hours. It wasn't just overcooked. It was cremated, the poor thing.
Don't you think you're taking it a bit too far now? You ate it and it tasted fine, so let's just forget about it.
I know, Ricky, but a little common sense would surely tell you that 6 hours is too long. Now that I think of it, it was completely overdone.
Now you're crossing the line. Yes, it was a little dry, and yes, you needed a lot of gravy with it, but it did the job.
You're right. The turkey was edible, but the gravy totally overpowered the flavor, don't you think?
Really, Maxie, I wish I hadn't cooked this stupid thing. If I'd known you'd be criticizing it this much, I don't understand why you didn't criticize it when you were stuffing it into your mouth. I would go as far as to say you were a bit of a pig at dinner time.
I beg your pardon. Don't call me a pig. What about you? Don't you think you overdid it on the Brussels sprouts? In fact, you overindulged completely.
Isn't that what Christmas is all about, Maxie? Overindulging and overeating until you feel sick? It wouldn't be Christmas if you didn't have to unbutton the top button of your trousers.
You're right again, my dear. Who am I to talk? I'm purposely wearing my trousers with the elasticized waistband. Oh, the joys of Christmas.
Do you want a cuppa? I was going to tuck into those chocolates over there if you'd like to help me.
Have you ever known me to refuse chocolate?
In our 10 years together, I have yet to hear you refuse chocolate.
Oh, darling, I'm so overwhelmed by your generosity.
Great job, Nick and Lucia. I gotta say, we've got a lot of teachers/actors in the company. That's Nick and Lucia talking turkey. Well, they're talking about a turkey, But to talk turkey, even though it sounds like it isn't, means to talk very clearly about things. You say hablar simple y llanamente, to speak frankly, to be a straight shooter, as we looked at in the weapons episode of FYI. So let's talk turkey. Well, in this episode here, in this, not episode, this audio clip, this chapter, they are talking about a turkey. It's at Christmas time. The holidays are not too far away. So here's what I want from you guys. As always, we're going to pluck some vocabulary from there. And to pluck is what you do with your eyebrows, right? Las cejas, pluck, right? If you're a chicken farmer, well, then you pluck the chicken's feathers. Pluck. It's an onomatopoeic word, isn't it? All right, well, let's see what I want from you guys. I've got 3 things I need from you here in our pop quiz. The first one is salsa de carne, o yo creo mejor el jugo de la carne. Remember, I don't just want you to give me the word. I want you to use it in a sentence. So at least I know that you know how to use it, not just know. Knowing a vocabulary word is not enough. I need to know that you know how to use it. You know the right preposition and all that jazz. All right, so the first one, I'm going to give you 3 that I want from you. The first one is salsa de carne o jugo de carne. Is anybody else getting hungry? My mouth is watering right now. I don't know why I decided to play that chapter of all chapters. All right, the second one is cumple los requisitos. I always say that word wrong. So, bueno, cumple los, she says, no, Ricky says it. Cumple los requisitos. You got to use it again in context. And the last one is desabrochar un botón. Desabrochar un botón. You can say botones, whatever you want. The verb is desabrochar. All right? Y usamos botón. There you go, my amigos. I don't just want you to give me those 3 words. I want you to give me them in context, preferably in a context that you yourself would use. Let's go on over to our virtual classroom over here. We've got Salva in the house. What's up, Salva? How's it going, buddy? Welcome aboard. Born to Iron Man. There he is. He says, morning, folks. How you doing? Well, now that you're here, I'd say we're doing just fine. Genial. There's Kubla. What's up, Kubla? He says, sup, fascinating individuals. I just want to thank you all for the fun and wisdom. Thus, I'll try to be on the ball and be worthy of your kingdom. All right, great poet and bard. Bard. That's a word that we look at when we talk about Shakespeare. B-A-R-D, the bard. The word is a bit antiquated. Normally we say poet these days. All right, who else is on board with us? There's Chris Valrol, and she says, morning, folks. Let's see if I can listen to the show today. These noisy days, they're working on the roof deck, and we've got a serious leak problem at home. Disadvantages of living in the penthouse. Oh, no. Chris, sorry, you've got a leaky roof over there. Man, that stinks. I have a family member, too, who every time it rains, I mean, they got a beautiful apartment, top floor, you know, great view, but man, the problem is the moment it rains, just a few drops, I'm talking light showers, como decimos, they've got, Noah's Ark over there. El Arca de Noé, you say? We say Noah. This biblical character is Noah. You know a guy named Noah? You know I know a guy named... Well, I always say that. My wife has a friend named Ainoa. And I always make a joke. I guess it doesn't work in Spanish because my wife looks at me like, not funny. And it's, I know a girl named Ainoa. Ainoa? They're homophones. They absolutely are homophones. So good morning to all of our super students who are here, ready to have some fun and ready to talk turkey. Great expression, again. To talk turkey. It's so funny because if you think about it, like gobble, gobble, gobble. Like when you think of talk turkey, you think of like something silly, something goofy. But no, it means to speak very clearly, to open up about something. To open up is to come clean, confesar, hablar en alto y claro, you know, put everything on the table. All right, let's see. We've got Kubla taking a stab at our pop quiz over here. Kubla says, if you put too much gravy on your lamb chops, they're going to disguise the meat's flavor. Great. Absolutely. Yeah, that's my biggest problem. I'm like that, Kubla. If you're saying that honestly, if you're talking turkey right now, I'm the same. If they're like, filet of salmon in a beurre blanc butter sauce and it's like, swimming in sauce, I always think, what are you trying to hide? If that meat's got good flavor, the gravy is the sauce. Au jus. That's one of my favorite things about eating roast beef. It's not the roast beef, it's the gravy. Same thing with chicken. You know, when you order pollo asado, roasted chicken, all right, the chicken's delicious, right? But how good is that bread, that loaf of bread that you grab and you dip into the sauce, the gravy? Oh, is anybody else's mouth watering right now? It's better than the chicken. Give me a loaf of bread and the chicken gravy any day, and I'll clean it up. All right, great stuff. All right, let's see the second one. This book meets the requirements for me to devour it. Great. A little bit formal. It sounds like something you would read like in a contract. If you meet the height requirements, some legalese. Legalese is habla legal, right? Legalese. So it's correct though, Kubla. It's correct. Right? But let's see if somebody knows a little more native way to say it. But I love it. I'll take it. And he says, of course, it'll make you to undo your dress. The only thing... Oh, no, wait. Guys, I'm jumping comments here. Wait a second. I jumped to Born to Iron Man. All right, here we go. So, Kubla, your third one. Whenever I overdo it... Good word, me paso. And eat away, I always have to unbutton my shirts. Here's a little trick. So if it's got buttons, you unbutton it or you button it up. If it's got a zipper, una cremallera, you unzip it or you zip it up. So el truco ahí es el up tiene sentido hacia arriba. But we don't say button it down or zip it down. It's unzip it. So desabrochar is always with the un. Great job, Kubla. Wonderful. Born to Iron Man. He says, can you pour the gravy from the pan onto my plate, please? Yeah, me too. I want some too. Save some for me. I want to dip the bread in it. Number 2, he says, I hope this yummy meal fulfills, te falta la S, amigo, porque es tercera persona, verbo, right? I hope this yummy meal fulfills the requirements. Again, correct, but not very natural. Unless we're in like a courtroom, en un juicio o algo así. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we've got Chris Valrol participating as well. And you know what? Since we have to go to a quick commercial break, Well, that'll give you guys some time if you'd like to participate. You've got a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll take a look at the rest of the answers. We've got our Say What soundbite, spelling bee, homophones, and so much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, free. I mean, hello, it's free. All you have to do is go to your app store, wherever you download your apps, and you can download the Vaughn Radio app for free. And this way you can learn English wherever. You can learn it on the go. Start your day with the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. After that, you've got Fitz with No Excuses. And how can I forget Richard Vaughn Live? Excellent shows to start your day off. Right after this show, you've got Ximena Holiday, the lovely Ximena Holiday. What a wonderful person she is. And her program, Test Your English. Followed by the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. That's right, you can join Rob and Andy every day and have some fun. Yeah, and don't forget about our latest shows. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Vaughn Radio proudly presents 2 brand spanking new shows. You can join Ruby every weekday on her program Speak Up from 3 to 4 p.m. Speak Up is for students who are just getting started and superstars who want to go over the basics. Let Ruby guide you through the English experience on her new program, Speak Up, on Vaughn Radio from 3 to 4 p.m. And Frankly Speaking, hosted by Chris. This program will be on every evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And in Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank will make you feel like you were at the restaurant or bar with him in a totally native conversation. Learn English as you have fun with Frankly Speaking. So make sure you check out our 2 latest programs. You're going to love them. Frankly Speaking with Chris from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and Speak Up with Ruby from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to love these new programs. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss them. That's right, folks. Tune in to our latest programs, Speak Up and Frankly Speaking. I'm sure you're going to love them. All right, folks. Well, it's time for the Say What Soundbite. Yeah.
Say what?
Yep. Yep. That's right, amigos. It's your Say What soundbite, and I'm going to apologize in advance here. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't laugh, but oh man, this one's tough. Really tough. Hopefully somebody will be able to figure it out here. I have faith in you guys. But either way, you can't screw up in the first part. No la puedes cagar. Why? Well, because it's your opinion. Okay, you might make a little mistake in English, but that's not a screw up. That's you being a student. That's how you learn. Right? I correct you. You learn from your mistake and we move on. It's that simple. But this is going to be a tough one to get all down. But I urge you all to participate. What I need you to do is listen very carefully right now and write down what you're about to hear. You're going to hear it 4 times, and this is the first listen.
Went out to the States and really for experience and to keep developing as a coach. But when this opportunity came up to join Birmingham, it was something which I was so happy for. I was excited, happy to be back coaching in England.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I warned you. I did warn you. So now you know. ¿Ves como nunca digo you? Yeah, I warned you. Now you know. Do I say you? No. No sé por qué lo dicen you. Si no es you, it's yeah. I told you. I told you not to look at what we write and listen to what we say. Because it's the sounds that are important more than the words. Think about that. All I have to do is listen to my daughter and say, wait, does she know any? She's like, I'm speaking in the past tense. She has no idea. No way. Why would I, even bother talking about that with her? She would be like, Daddy, come on, let's go play. Like, what are you talking about? Let's go play. All right. Let me play this for you a second time, and then we'll discuss it.
Went out to the States and really for experience and to keep developing as a coach. But when this opportunity came up to join Birmingham, it was something which I was so happy for. I was excited, happy to be back coaching in England.
All right, folks, there you go. There's your Say What soundbite. All right, now we've got to finish up our pop quiz because I left off right here in the middle of Born to Iron Man's. Let's see. So to fulfill the requirements, so far is the answer. Cumplir los requisitos. But I'm looking for a less formal, less legal way to say it. So let's see. The last one, Born to Iron Man, says, it'll make you to undo your dress. Nice job, except for 2. Ese 2 me sobra. It'll make you undo your dress, right? So it'll make you undo. Great. To undo is in general. Undo it. Desabróchalo. I love it. So great job, guys. Wonderful. Let's see what Chris Valrol had to say. She says, I love this stewy gravy. Oh, excuse me, this stew gravy. Now, stew, great word. Guisado, guisar. Who doesn't love a good stew in the winter? Nice beef stew. Man, I have a feeling I'm going to end up eating something before the show's over today. But I can't because, well, you can't really eat in the middle of a live show, can you? So to undo, great job. Chris says, I love this stew gravy. Really delicious. Muy bien. Nice job, Chris. She says, sometimes I need some help to unbutton the green dress. All right. And she says, I missed the other one. Yeah, it seems like we're going to have to take a look at that one. Well, let me give it to you in context over here, and maybe it'll help. All right? So now you're let me go back a little bit. Okay, now you're crossing the line. Here we go. Maxine says, I know, Ricky, but a little common sense would surely tell you that 6 hours in the oven is too long. Now that I think of it, it was completely overdone. ¿Qué te pasaste de coacción? And Ricky says, now you're crossing the line. Ahí te has pasado de la raya. You're crossing the line. Yes, it was a little dry, and yes, you need a lot of gravy with it, but it did the job. It did the job, or it did the trick. So, this will do the job. This will do the trick. Let me give you an example. I don't have a screwdriver, but if you've got a pointy knife, I might be able to unscrew it. Ay, mira. To screw in and to unscrew. O sea, el des siempre es el un. ¿No? Vemos ese patrón. Siempre estamos buscando patrones. All right, guys? So that'll do the trick. Okay? Cumplirá. That'll do the trick. And what did they say there? I forgot. I would say that'll do the trick. But he says it did the job. So it did the trick. It did the job. Hey, there we go with Halloween again with a little trick or treat. But it's not time for Halloween, but it is time for one of our scariest sections. Well, as far as difficulty is concerned, it's our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our Spelling Bee over here on the show with no name. And you know, I like to, give you guys a little taste of what's to come. Una prueba, una cata, a taste of what's to come. Just to get you in the right mindset. Because here, as well as teaching English, I like to, if we're going to talk about a certain thing, maybe even using sound effects, bring you to that world. Like, yesterday we were in the jungle here on the show. And I'm telling you, if you close your eyes You might even believe it for a second. Close your eyes right now, and let's see. Let's see which one I can give you here. We're gonna do this off the cuff. Off the cuff is sin planificarlo mucho. All right, close your eyes right now. I want you to close your eyes, and I want everybody to join me in the garden. You hear that brook in the background? Is it riachuelo? Man, I bet the water's really chilly. Well, you know what? I can go dip my toes in there anyway. I don't think I'll get sick. Come on, come with me. Let's go down to that brook. The birds are chirping. Things are good here in my garden. Are you guys enjoying my garden? Would you like a cuppa? Mira, otra palabra que dijeron en el audio de conversaciones en inglés. A cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Una taza de cuppa. C-U-P-P-A. Are you enjoying my garden? Well, you know what kind of garden it is? It's an octopus's garden. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. All right. Now let's leave the garden, because if we're just chillaxing in the garden, well, then we're going to fall behind, and we've got a lot of stuff to do. But isn't it relaxing? Just for 1 second. You felt like you were here in the garden with me. All right. Let's see what you guys had to say about the Say What soundbite before we kick off our spelling bee. Kubla says, it sounded like a non-English speaking native. So a non-English speaking native. So wait, a non-English speaking native. I'm a little bit confused. So a native of where then? If he's not non-English. I'm a little bit confused there. So it sounded like a non-English speaking native soccer coach explaining how thrilled he was when he was hired to train the Union Jack representatives. Well, that's right. You heard correctly. Just the beginning there is a little bit confusing there. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol says, I heard an English athlete. Clear as day. Chris says, let's talk turkey. I heard an English athlete. I'd say he's a football player. Chris, I'd say you're right. He went to USA to work as a coach. Chris, spot on. But he wasn't very happy. Chris, spot on. The joyfulness returned when he came back to England. Spot on. Wow. Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. All right. Well, if nobody else is going to give us their opinion on the Say What soundbite, give it up for your classmates, Kubla and Chris. They did a wonderful job. All right. So let's take a look then. We've got our spelling bee, and this is round 1. Are you ready? All of these words should be capitalized, and good luck, because I see a lot of vowels on the horizon. En el horizonte. I see a lot of vowels on the horizon. All right. The first one is W-R-I-G-H-T space F-L-Y-E-R. The second one is C-H-U-C-K space Y-E-A-G-E-R. The third one is D-O-U-G-L-A-S space W-O-R-L-D space C-R-U-I-S-E-R. The fourth one is A-M-E-L-I-A space E-A-R-H-A-R-T. And the fifth one is C-H-A-R-L-E-S space L-I-N-D-B-E-R-G-H. And the last one, I told you this was going to be tough, J-E-A-N dash F-R-A-N-C-O-I-S space P-I-L-A-T-R-E space R-O-Z-I-E-R. That's it. You want more? Oh my God. I'm totally out of breath now. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Here's another clue. Here's the aviation episode of FYI. From Icarus to the Wright brothers, humankind has forever been fervently fascinated with flight and the freedom we feel when we fly. Aircraft tirelessly transport people and goods on a daily basis, keeping our world connected 24/7, 365. Most of all, it has made our enormous Earth much more manageable and accessible to anyone. This is the final boarding call for flight FYI 109er. Get ready for takeoff. We'll explore the amazing arena of aviation on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info. There you go, folks. For Your English. You've got an aviation episode that I did with my dad. If you haven't heard it, I just shared the link with you over here. Also, more recently, there's an episode on airports as well. So there you go, folks. If you want to learn more about this industry that's like glue, como un pegamento that keeps the world together, well, folks, you got all that info in 2 episodes. You got the aviation industry in general, and then you've got airports, which is a little bit more specific. But either way, they're both chock full of amazing vocabulary. All right, let's see. We've got Kubla taking a stab at it. Kubla, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. And the sixth one? Is also correct. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your classmate, Kubla. He knocked it out of the park. Wonderful job. This was not easy. There were tons of vowels in there. Muchísimos vocales. So wonderful job. And this is round 2. This is for all of you who couldn't get it on the first go. People like myself. Yo mismo. All right, here we go. The first one is WRIGHT space FLYER. The second one is CHUCK space YEAGER. The third one, DOUGLAS space WORLD space CRUISER. The fourth one, AMELIA space EARHART. The fifth one is CHARLES space LINDBERGH. And the last one, my amigos. Sorry, we're here by the runway. Aquí estamos a pie de pista, and it's a little bit loud. All right, the last one is JEAN dash FRANCOIS space PILATRE space Rozier. All right, my amigos, there you go. If you haven't figured it out, these words have to do with aviation. Once again, here I go. You know me, I've got a one-track mind. Solo pienso en una cosa, and it's not sex. Well, yeah, sometimes. All right, a two-track mind. No, three. Aviation, food, sex. Okay, never mind. We don't want to go too deep into my mind. All right, let's see. We've also got another winner here. Give it up for your classmate, Chris Valrol. These are all aviation-based words. Why? Because today in the year 1911, Orville Wright, you recognize that name? The Wright brothers. Orville Wright, they were bicycle makers. Did you know that? The guys who designed the Wright Flyer, they were bike makers. And if you look at the Wright Flyer, it looks like a bike with wings. I mean, look at all the chains. It's literally bike parts. But they figured out how to make those bike parts fly. That's the beauty of it all. And, well, sooner than later, they changed from bikes to aircraft. So today, in the year 1911, Orville Wright, one of the Wright brothers, remained in the air for 9 minutes and 45 seconds in a glider. A glider, well, to glide is to move without an engine. So a glider is this kind of plane that glides through the air. And he stayed in the air. He stayed airborne, como decimos, for 9 minutes and 45 seconds at Kill Devil Hills. Wow, it's a crazy name for a place. Kill Devil Hills, located in, let's see if you guys know. Where did they do most of their experimenting? The Wright brothers. Anybody know what state? Did you say North Carolina? Good job. In North Carolina. I haven't been there yet, but you can go down there and you can see where the brothers set up their shop and where they carried out all of their experiments. To carry out es llevar a cabo. So excellent job, my amigos. You guys are flying high, especially Kubla and Chris. They are on fire today. But folks, right now, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at these aviation firsts, primeros de la aviación. We've also got homophones, double trouble, name that movie, name that lyric, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Always a pleasure to have you with us, show with no namers. Don't forget to check out our online bookshop, the Vaughn Tienda. It's vaughntienda.com. You can pick up all 5 of my books. They make great Christmas presents. Hey, I know you're laughing at me right now, but I know also you're going to be like, I didn't have enough time to do all my Christmas shopping. Well, see, I don't want to sound like a parent like I am, but I told you so. Te lo dije. I told you so. I'm not one of those people, by the way. I hate telling people I told you so. Like, it's enough. You were wrong. Okay? Eat crow. ¿Cómo se dice? Tienes que comerte tus palabras, tragártelas. Right? You gotta eat crow, man. Comer cuervo. Yeah. Que no se dice crow. ¿Cuántas veces he oído Russell Crowe? Crow. It's crow. Like the movie with Brandon Lee. Hey, there we go with Halloween stuff again. The Crow. Great soundtrack. Rage Against the Machine, 9 Inch Nails. And as you know, tragedy struck on the set. That's right. Well, no, it wasn't an electrical storm. It was, unfortunately, a gun fired and killed Brandon Lee. So very interesting story behind that as well. All right, well, folks, it's not time for Name That Movie right now. No, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
Show with no name. That's right, amigos. That's right. You know it. It is time for Homophones, where we look at words that tend to throw my students off. Desconciertan a mis alumnos. But let's see if you're one of those students or you know these words inside and out. The first word is masticar. Okay? The only thing is, it's masticar en tercera persona. ¿Qué significa con ese? ¿No? So, si yo diría, él mastica su comida, él, ella, eso, la tercera persona ahí. ¿Ok? That's the word I'm looking for. Masticar. ¿Ok? Pero, otra vez con ese en tercera persona. ¿Ok? Also, se puede decir que son caramelos también. Los que son como para, what are the ones? Sugus. We call them Starburst. Same thing, kind of. Well, Starburst, more sugar, obviously. Pero ese tipo de caramelos que masticas también se llaman así. O sea, si dices, ¿me das algunos caramelos masticables? It's that word o la tercera persona de masticar. And we'll see that there are tons of idiomatic expressions with the word masticar. And we're going to look at those right now. But first, I want to give you your second word. The second word is elegir, to pick. That's it. There you go, folks. So you've got two words. The first word is masticar en tercera persona, o caramelillos que se puede masticar en plural. Y ahora veremos muchísimas expresiones también, como comerse algo rápido, dar a la lengua, ¿no? Darle, cascar, it says, ¿no? To have a long chat. But we'll look at it. And the second one is elegir, escoger. Elegir o escoger. Those are your two words. What are they, and do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, here's your Say What soundbite for the third time. Please write down what you hear.
Went out to the States and really for experience and to keep developing as a coach. But when this opportunity came up to join Birmingham, it was something which I was so happy for. I was excited, happy to be back coaching in England.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. That is our Say What soundbite for the third time. And as you know, you'll have one more listen over there. All right, let's see what you guys got in our homophone section. All right, the first person to participate is Kubla. Kubla, the words are correct. Oh, I see what's going on. So you guys are pretty wary, recelosos. You're wary because nobody got it right yesterday? Come on, don't be like that. Come on. Don't be like that. Don't be wary. So, I want more people to participate. I know you know these words. They're not that difficult, are they? Maybe they are. So, Kubla, those are the right words, and he says they sound the same. All right. Well, let's say the words since Kubla is the only one participating. Good job, Kubla. If you got it, then it's all you, buddy. Okay. Oh, wait. Hang on. There's Chris. So today, I get it. Today, we've got only 2 people participating in the challenges. I got a lot of people here, but there are 2 people who are constantly participating. And that's Kubla and Chris. Don't think I haven't noticed. I notice everything, guys. And now I know where my daughter gets it from. She notices every little detail. She's always paying attention, especially when you don't think she is. I wonder where she got that from. A chip off the old block, de tal palo tal astilla. We looked at that expression the other day here on the show. One of you gave it to us. So, Chris, she says they could be homophones. They could be. I'm not too sure there. All right, well, let's say both words. The first word is to chew. No le hemos añadido la S todavía. Vamos por pasos. Don't chew loudly. No mastiques tu comida alto. No en alto. You're chewing really loudly. Stop chewing. Okay? So loud. So he chews really loud. Chews. Tercera persona. Oh, I remember my grandfather, Gustavo. He used to give me these little candy chews. He used to carry them around in his pocket. And he would always let me choose what flavor I wanted. So, my grandfather, Gustavo, used to carry around sugus, little candy chews. And he would let me choose the one that I wanted to chew. Do they sound the same? He would let me choose which chews I wanted to eat. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Now be careful with that verb choose. La segunda. ¿Cuántas veces? Oh man, I would be so rich. If I had a dime, 10 céntimos, no, a nickel, 5 céntimos, for every time I've heard choosing, que no existe. Choosing, just get it out of your head. Okay? So, chose, no, ves, ya lo tengo yo mal. Choose, chose, chosen. No es que no me lo sé, es que un nativo no piensa que esto es irregular. You just say the word. So, it's choose, chose, chosen. O sea que la tercera suena como la segunda, no como la primera. Y suelen decir la gente chosen, right? So, there we go, folks. They do sound the same. Now, let's take a look at some of those other meanings of the word chew. We said to chew somebody, let's start at the beginning. To chew food, easy. Masticar, comida. Okay? Now, also, to chew somebody out es echarle una bronca. If you chew somebody out, he chewed me out. Es un verbo regular, es ed. He chewed me out for chewing gum in class. Hey, si te ayuda a acordarte. The teacher chewed me out for chewing gum in class, right? And in the end, well, it was something that I needed to chew over. What? To chew over es reflexionar. Algo que debería masticar. we say discutir, reflexionar. So the teacher chewed me out because I was chewing gum. And she told me to go into the corner and chew over the matter for a while. No, reflexionar un poco. So there you go. Also, to chew up, comerse rápido. So this new app, esta nueva aplicación, chews up my battery. Se come mi batería. A great expression is to bite off more than you can chew. That's right, to bite off more than you can chew. Think about this one. This one makes total sense. So you've got a cookie, and you take a huge bite, but you can't swallow it now because you took off too much. That means you took on too much responsibility. You've got too many things going on. El que mucho abarca, poco aprieta. You bit off more than you could chew. And just remember, bite, bit, bitten. Bite, bit, bitten. It's an irregular verb, just like choose, chose, chosen. Just be careful. If you want to avoid choose, chose, and chosen, it's real simple, amigos. I'll tell you how to do it. Use the verb pick. It's a regular verb. He picked a winner instead of he chose a winner. Another one, to chew the fat, to have a long conversation. It's the opposite as shooting the breeze. To shoot the breeze is to have a short, informal conversation. Estar de cháchara. But to chew the fat is darle a la lengua, darle al pico, darle a la sin hueso. I didn't know that one. And again, something to chew on is algo para reflexionar, considerar, evaluar. Did you know that had so many meanings? Chew? Because I know you know the word from chewing gum, right? So excellent job, amigos. Wonderful job. Also, let's finish up today's spelling bee over here. The first word we looked at was the Wright Flyer. The Wright Flyer was the original plane that they used when they flew. Again, it looks more like a bicycle. They being the one and only Wright brothers. Then you've got Chuck Yeager. Chuck Yeager. Now, who was Chuck Yeager? Well, if you've seen the movie The Right Stuff, it's a great movie, by the way. Chuck Yeager, played by Sam Shepard, he breaks the sound barrier in the Bell X1, famous movie, if you haven't seen it. No sé si en español cómo se llama, but in inglés is The Right Stuff. Lo que requiere. Piénsalo. These guys have the right stuff. Tienen lo que requiere. What it takes. So Chuck Yeager had the right stuff. He had what it takes. Now the next one is the Douglas World Cruiser. And I know in Spanish you say Douglas, but in English we pronounce that word Douglas. Okay? And the Douglas World Cruiser. Now this was one of those planes that was made to travel around the world. Because, of course, aviation wasn't enough. It wasn't enough just to get up there and get airborne. We had to go further. We had to go faster. So the Douglas World Cruiser was made by the Douglas Aircraft Company, which later became McDonnell Douglas, which later was bought by Boeing. And basically, this was developed to meet a requirement, right, from the United States Army Air Service. And what they tried to do was to make an aircraft, which was this one, suitable to attempt the first flight around the world. They did it. This one made it around the world. And it's called the Douglas World Cruiser. Now, it had to stop to refuel, but I think everybody knows that, especially back then. I mean, we're talking about 1923 over here, right? Then you've got Amelia Earhart, the first female pilot to go transatlantic. Very interesting story. I'll have to do an FYI episode on her because she went missing. So that's an interesting story there. Then you got Charles Lindbergh, first solo Atlantic flight. So these are all pioneers, all aviation firsts. And then you've got Jean-Francois, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, Jean-Francois Pilatre de Rosier. And he was a French chemistry and physics teacher and one of the first pioneers in aviation. He made the first manned, and manned es controlado por persona, ¿no? Manned, ahora se habla de aviación unmanned, que no hay controlador ahí a bordo. So he made the first manned free balloon flight. That's right, a hot air balloon in a Montgolfier balloon, which also those are names that we couldn't talk about flight without talking about those brothers. So very interesting when humankind took flight. But folks, we've got to move on. I can't believe it. Time is just flying here. We've got to do today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with... Wait. No, I'm sorry. You don't want to do Name That Movie? Please? Oh, no. Help! Guys, run for your lives. Run! Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. Well, I didn't need that finger anyway. All right, a couple comments before we check out today's Name That Movie. Kubla says Sinatra bit off more than he could chew in the song My Way. That's right, I bit off more than I could chew. Excellent, Kubla. Cristina says the right stuff is Elegidos para la Gloria in Spain. Thank you very much, Movie Queen. All right, let's see if you know today's Name That Movie. I just gave you like the biggest clue I could possibly give you. So let's see if you got that clue. Here it is. Let me get in the mood too over here. I mean, we're in the mood, but let's get even more in the mood. A California couple and a survivalist encounter Leatherface and his family. There it is. You want more? That's it. So, a California couple and a survivalist, somebody who studies how to survive in the wilderness, encounter, se encuentran, look at that, igual. Luego decís que el inglés es difícil. They encounter Leatherface and his family. Does Leatherface ring a bell? Anybody know that character, Leatherface? You might want to know the character when it's time for my trivia night. Hey, you guys are going to have an advantage by... Oh, geez, he's back. Go away, Leatherface. You call him cara cuero? Cara piel? What do you call him? We call him Leatherface. And yes, it's human leather. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Here we go again. Put the chainsaw down. We got to get through the show. We can play later. Leatherface. Let's see. Damian says Friday the 3rd. Well, it would be Friday the 13th, but that's not Leatherface. That's Freddie. Not Freddie Mercury, Freddie Krueger. All right. Anybody? Come on. Leatherface. A lo mejor le llamáis de otra cosa aquí. Cara piel. Well, Chris, maybe I made it too easy, so easy that you guys second guessed. Que dudasteis. Chris got it. The flick is Leatherface. Es que os dije el nombre. Now, Leatherface is the bad guy in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? That famous movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And this movie came out in 1990. Man, I love these movies. They're pretty eerie. What did you call the killer in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? We call him Leatherface. No sé cómo lo llamabais aquí. ¿Ves? Yo pensaba que Leatherface was going to be a dead giveaway. So Leatherface, yes, it is the third in that trilogy. And the director, Jeff Burr, was fired. He was canned at the beginning of production of the movie, right? And when nobody else accepted the job, he was rehired. And, well, the idea was he was the 50th director to be offered the job. What do you think of that? So nobody wanted to do this project. Oh, Damien, yeah, Jason, you're right. Jason is, Freddy Krueger is Nightmare on Elm Street, and Jason is Friday the 13th. You're right, I'm getting my bad guys mixed up. But my question is still the same. What do you call Leatherface? What do you call him? I mean, Freddy is Freddy, no? Jason is Jason. Michael Myers from Halloween is Michael Myers. You're right, Damian. Thank you. Thank you for the correction there. So nobody wanted to do this project. Well, there are many reasons behind it because, well, the sequel didn't do as well as the original, which is a cult classic now, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So they didn't think it was going to make money, firstly. The director's like, well, I don't want it to be my fault. And the trailer was done before they even had a director. So they had their ideas, the production company, very, very clear ideas of what they wanted to do. And that didn't involve the director's opinion. And most directors want to obviously be hired to give their opinion. And the original script was brutal. I mean, there were explicit, gory scenes. And, well, they what happened was the final movie was given an X rating, but finally it was replaced with the NC-17. In fact, it was the final movie to be given that X rating. You know what other one was given an X rating? That was ¿cómo se llama? The X rating was everybody's talking at me, only the echoes of my mind. Urban Cowboy? I think that Midnight Cowboy. I think it's Midnight Cowboy. So yeah, this was the last movie to get an X, and then X, the one after R, excuse me, was replaced by NC-17. So Chris is telling me that Leatherface is La Máscara del Terror. Oh my goodness. They didn't call him Leatherface? Really? Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Well, Benny says, shh, this gun makes an awfully loud noise and an awfully big hole. Awfully is bastante. He goes, shh. So this gun makes an awfully loud noise and an awfully big hole. And Alfredo says, do I know you? And Benny says, shut up. And Alfredo says, look here, mister. I'm very scared of guns. So please do not point that at my face. And Benny says, how many? And Alfredo says, how many what, OJ? ¿Cuántos, OJ? And Benny says, how many sick, bent fucks? So sick, bent, sick is enfermos, bent is retorcido, twisted. So how many sick, bent fucks like you are out here? Wait, how many like you are there? Okay, ahora te lo leo bien. How many sick, bent fucks like you are there out there? ¿Cuántos como tú hay ahí, retorcidos? He goes, darling, I only got one thing to say to you. I don't like the tone of your voice. And Benny says, what's this? booby traps. And booby traps, aunque booby es teta, a booby trap es una trampa. Folks, we've got to go. I can't believe this time is really flying, but we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show with no name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to listen to all our exciting educational programs here all day long. You've got programs all day long on the Vaughn Radio app. Or you can listen to all your favorite shows wherever you listen to podcasts. Oh, and speaking of podcasts, guess who's going to be on the pod this week? The one and only Richard Vaughn. That's right, Richard Vaughn is going to be joining me on the podcast this week to talk about American history. Don't miss it. As always, I learned a lot. But in this episode, man, I learned an awful lot. Mira, la palabra awful. Awful es terrible. Pero awfully, si digo I'm awfully tired, es bastante. Hay gente que dice I'm awful tired or I'm awfully tired. O sea, contexto es todo. Podría ser un double trouble en un futuro. Or she's pretty pretty. Es bastante guapa. He's awfully awful. We could make it a double trouble. And I've got to say something. Of late, or lately, se puede decir cualquiera. Of late or lately, it seems like double trouble's been giving you guys a lot of problems.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
Double trouble.
I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's double trouble only on the show with no name. And I know it's going to give you trouble today because it's a really, really tough one today. But we will find an answer before the show is over. But hopefully you guys will be able to help me out. Also, I don't think anybody's figured out our Say What soundbite yet either. So we've got a few fronts open over there. And we'll see how you guys do. The good thing is we'll wrap it all up nicely before the end of the show today in about less than 24 minutes. So here we go. Sé que te gusta hacer las cosas con instinto, sin preparar. Pero necesito esas tijeras sobre la marcha. Ya. Ahora mismo. Right? So, sé que te gusta hacer las cosas con instinto, sin preparar, pero necesito esas tijeras sobre la marcha. If I look up the idiomatic expression here, it says to do something means to do something difficult or dangerous using only your instinct. Okay? So you're not really prepared. You're just going to Wing it, we say as well. Okay? To wing it. So it says to do something difficult or dangerous using only your instincts because you lack the right kind of experience or information. So it's going into a situation kind of blind and doing your best with very little knowledge. Okay? Wow, this is a really tough one today. So, sé que te gusta hacer las cosas con instinto, sin mucha preparación, ¿no? Entrando ahí a saco, ¿ok? Pero necesito esas tijeras sobre la marcha, a la voz de ya, ahora mismo. All right, there you go. That's today's Double Trouble. Good luck. We'll see if somebody can figure it out. At least take a stab at it, and we'll see if anybody comes close. Speaking of taking a stab at it, this is your last listen of today's Say What soundbite. Jot this down.
Went out to the States and really for experience and to keep developing as a coach. But when this opportunity came up to join Birmingham, it was something which I was so happy for. I was excited, happy to be back coaching in England.
All right. There you go, my amigos. There you go. That is the fourth and final listen. Again, it's a tough one today, so I get it. And today's Double Trouble is really tough too. But hey, maybe you'll learn some new idiomatic expressions that you didn't know before. Oh, and by the way, I got this one out of a podcast I was listening to. I wrote it down. I was like, buenísima. Really good one. And again, when I pluck these words, these idiomatic expressions out of pop culture, it's many times because I don't know if you'll know them. So I'm like, quiero ver si saben esta o no. Okay? So anybody going to take a stab at it? Going once, going twice. Where are all my fearless show with no namers here? Damien says, I mixed up the movies. Masacre en Texas is the title of the movie here in South America. All right. Okay, let's see. Daniela. Daniela's taking a stab at it. And Daniela, you know what? You win. Well, if nobody else even tried, you win. Think about that. Nobody else tries, then the only person who tries is the winner, right? Okay, well, Daniela, congrats. You won. And let's see if you got it right now, but you won because you took a stab at it, right? She says, I know you like to go with the flow. Excellent idiomatic expression. I know you like to go with the flow, but I need those scissors on the go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not the one that I've got, but it's right. It is right. Awesome. Wow. The word go there on the go. Yeah. Sobre la marcha. Wow. Daniela, not the one I had written, but it works and we'll take it. So not only did you go out on a limb, arriesgarse un poco, which nothing really lost there, but you freaking nailed it. Daniela, very proud of you there. Extremely proud of you, Daniela. Now, let me give you the one I have, and we'll see another way to say it as well. And this one is, I know you like to fly by the seat of your pants. So you can say to fly by the seat of your pants or to do something by the seat of your pants. So he prepared the wedding by the seat of his pants. Okay? Si no ponemos el acción, se puede poner to fly by the seat of your pants. Okay? Por el asiento de tus pantalones. What? Well, I'm going to explain it now. Don't worry. I looked it up too. I was curious myself. And as a fan of etymology, I needed to know. So I know you like to fly by the seat of your pants. Hacer las cosas sin mucha preparación, sin saber mucho, ¿no? Tirarse, right? Al lío, no? So I know you like to fly by the seat of your pants, but I need those scissors on the fly. So the word we looked at twice is fly over there. And this expression was first used to do something or to fly by the seat of your pants was used in an issue of Popular Science, the magazine. And it said blind flying, okay, so volar ciegamente, was known as seat of the pants flying, okay? Era volar in seat of the pants. And what did this have to do with their pants? Well, the pilots that were flying in heavy fog, in neblina, fog es niebla, in heavy fog, they couldn't rely on any instruments, right? That back then, now they have instruments. You can fly blind now, and the plane will get you where you need to go if you put in the right coordinates and everything. But they learned whether to tell, distinguir, if they were flying right side up or upside down by the pressure against their parachute packs. And remember, they're around their pants. So they knew a lot of times when they would lose spatial awareness, they would know by the seat of their pants, dónde estaba la presión en sus pantalones. So I thought that was a fascinating way of saying I'm flying blind. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. As I always tell you guys, you aren't the only ones learning here. I've been using the expression all my life, but I never knew the meaning, or I always knew the meaning. I'm lying. I never knew the etymology until today. So, folks, another discovery. But right now, it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking. And I want a nice round of applause for my buddy, Roberto Quito. Roberto Quito, who is tuning in from Loja, Ecuador. He is up early. And you know what they say, Roberto? The early bird gets the worm. So ese lombriz es para ti. Welcome, Roberto, and great to have you here. Even though you're in another time zone, you're across the mighty Atlantic. Well, Roberto, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys like these jokes, and they're a good way to start your day. What's a pilot's favorite kind of pizza? What is a pilot's favorite kind of pizza? Do you know? It's plain. No. What's a pilot's favorite pizza? It's not pepperoni. It's not meat lovers. It's not broccoli. It's not anchovies. It's definitely not pineapple. So what's a pilot's favorite kind of pizza? Plain. Plain. This is a really good word to know. Well, I know you guys know the word plane, avión. Pero plain, P-L-A-I-N, means the normal one. So if you are like sin nada, sin adornos, right? So I want a plain bagel. Estos panecillos que comemos in Nueva York. A plain bagel means with nothing on it, right? I want a plain whatever. A plain means la básica, okay? Sencilla, Chris says. So plain, you get it? A plain slice, uno de margarita de queso, a cheese slice, or a plain slice. What's a pie? Okay, really bad joke. I'll take a plain pizza, please. All right, what do you get when you put a flight stick in an egg? And the flight stick is like the steering wheel. It's not called that, pero en un coche, donde manejas, the steering wheel, el volante. Now, as we know, in a plane, it doesn't look like a steering wheel. It has another name. They call it a flight stick. Okay? So what do you get when you put a flight stick in an egg? A yolk. A yolk. No? Did you get it? A yolk. All right. Well, I guess we should look at the meaning of the word yolk. You've got YOLK. It's the yellow part of an egg. You've got the egg whites and you've got the yolk. Okay? So YOLK, silent L. It's not yolk, it's yolk. Like my folks like yolks, right? And they like to walk, talk. Esas L's ninguna se dice. They like yolks. Also, the yoke, YOKE, is also another name for the flight stick. The yoke. You call it el yugo. It's also a device used for attaching animals, right? Un yugo. Well, if you think about it, what does it look like? A yoke. So there you go, folks. Did you like my yoke? Que no se dice yoke, it's joke. Pero ves, cuando no pronuncias la palabra chiste bien, dices yugo o yema de huevo. I like your yoke. Well, I prefer the whites. Less cholesterol. All right. Let's see. I got another one for you. What would you call the brother duo who couldn't get a plane off the ground? Okay, so what would you call the brother duo who couldn't get a plane off the ground? The Wrong Brothers. No, the right brothers, the wrong. Los correctos, los incorrectos. Equivocados. The wrong. Well, there's a very famous expression that we use. I'll teach you the expression and then I'll teach you the joke that goes with it. So we say, if two wrongs don't make a right, what do two rights make? So the expression two wrongs don't make a right significa, si alguien te hace algo malo, if somebody does something bad to you, it doesn't mean you have to take revenge because it doesn't make it right now. Oh, he screwed me, I'm going to screw him. And that's when somebody says, well, two wrongs don't make a right. No te rebajes, ¿no? Si ahora él te ha hecho mal, no significa que tú tienes que ir por ahí haciendo mal. Es su problema que está haciendo mal, right? So that's what we say when somebody wants to exact revenge or be vengeful or whatever crap you're going through in your brain, right? People say, oh, man, it's okay, but, forget about it. Move on. Two wrongs don't make a right. No, dos malos no hacen un bueno. So the joke goes, if two wrongs don't make a right, what do two rights make? The first airplane. And it was the Wright Flyer. It's a great name. El volador correcto. Did you guys hear about those new low-cost nocturnal aviation schools? Oh, yeah. It's all the rage now in the United States. It's all the rage. It's la moda. Yeah. Yeah, there are these new low-cost aviation schools, and they're nocturnal, for people who are working. They say that they are fly by night. No. What, that joke flew over your head? No? Did anybody get it? Fly by night? So did you hear about these new low-cost nocturnal aviation schools? They are fly by night. Volar por la noche. But also, the adjective fly by night is not very professional, right? Chamullero. En México, tranza. Okay? Alguien que no es de fiar, poco fiable, fraudulento, fly by night, dishonest. Again, Richard, I think the perfect example is when Richard Vaughn came to Madrid, he realized there were a lot of language schools, but most of them were fly by night. Él usó esas mismas palabras. So fly by night. You get it now, right? Son low cost, no son de fly by night. All right, folks, it's time to move on to famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And wow, I got to say something. You guys are kicking ass. Great job. All right, let's see if you can figure out today's famous birthday boys and girls. The first person was born in 1930. Now, he's better known by his stage name than his real name, but I'll take either one. In fact, no, I'm going to give you his real name because nobody knows his real name. His real name was Giles Perry Richardson Jr., but nobody called him that. They called him El Gran Bailador, would be the translation. And some of his songs, I love the opening of one of his songs, Hello, Baby. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So he was one of the American musicians and disc jockeys that pioneered rock and roll. And he unfortunately died the day the music died in a plane crash with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. This was in 1959. The pilot also died as well. And yeah, they call that the day the music died. And we were singing bye, bye, Miss American Pie, to my Chevy. And he worked with the Belmonts, which yesterday we looked at Lonely Teenager. So this guy was definitely a pioneer. His life was cut short by a freak accident, a plane accident. Number two, this actor was born in 1947, an American actor and singer. He is the recipient of an Academy Award and 3 Tony Awards. He's been in many movies such as Sophie's Choice, A Fish Called Wanda, which I think put him on the map. He won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. The Big Chill, Grand Canyon, French Kiss, The Ice Storm, The Wild Wild West, and Beauty and the Beast. Also, he voiced the character of the Hunchback of Notre Dame as well, which I didn't know, and so much more. This guy is an extremely talented actor. And last but not least, we're talking about talent here today, but really in the football world, or the soccer world, as you would say in my country. And this guy is a professional English footballer. Well, he's retired now. He's a manager, and he's managing Birmingham City. But he played for Manchester United. He played with Cristiano Ronaldo. And this guy, I don't know, poor guy. I mean, I know he's not that old. He was born in 85. He's a year younger than my wife, but he looks like he's 90. He looked like he was 90 when he was 20. You know, so maybe he's the curious case of Benjamin Button over here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a winner, Chris Valrol. Number one, the Big Bopper. The Big Bopper. And I said, El Gran Bailador. To bop es como moverte, no bailar. And they used to call the songs, this is the bop, baby. This is the boopity bop bop. So bop was a way to, we don't use the word very much now. He's a big bopper, right? So it's a very 50s, a very antiquated term, but just so you know, it had to do with dancing. And all his songs had to do with dancing. Remember, the early days of rock and roll, the dancing was just as important as the music, you know, doing the shuffle, como vimos la palabra ayer, doing all the mashed potato and do the twist. Do you like it like this? Tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. And you got all those classic songs. I listen to those 50s songs all the time. 50s. I go by decade, just so you guys know. I'm going to go into the 70s this week. I'm going to go into the 50s. And it's cool because you can feel and see the progression of music throughout the years. Number 2 is Kevin Kline, tremendous actor, Kevin Kline. And number 3, Wayne Rooney. So congrats to Chris and Kubla. They nailed it. And that'll bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Wayne Rooney. And he says, I went out to the States. Me fui a los estates, as you say. This is a Mancunian kind of sound here. Went out to the States. Me fui a los Estados Unidos. Really for the experience. Realmente por la experiencia, ¿no? And to keep developing as a coach. Y para seguir desarrollándome como entrenador. Remember, coach, entrenador, couch, sofá. But when this opportunity came up, cuando surgió, to join Birmingham, they don't say Birmingham, they say Birmingham. I think that was the tough one today. It was something which I was so happy for. Era algo que yo era muy contento por eso. I was excited and happy to be back coaching in England. So here he is, legend Wayne Rooney.
Went out to the States and really for experience and to keep developing as a coach. But when this opportunity came up to join Birmingham, it was something which I was so happy for. I was excited, happy to be back coaching in England.
All right, folks. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you. Wonderful job to each and every one of you. Keep up the great work in Ximena's class. Up next, test your English with Ximena. And you've got great programs all afternoon long here on Vaughn Radio. We'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Bye-bye.